Right, guys, we have Andy Miller from the one and only Dodgy on the line with us. Andy, are you all right, mate?
Yeah, mate, how you doing? All right.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's an absolute pleasure for me, mate.
Oh, that's cool.
I just wanted to get you online because I remember a little conversation we had a while back when I'm a musician and I just picked your mind for a few ideas of how bands can go about getting the music heard in the industry. And I remember you talked to me about YouTube.
Yeah.
Can you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, we had a few that night as well. It was very chatty.
Yeah.
You was on about bands trying to make it and stuff, and using YouTube and things like that. What I have music and do. Yeah.
Yeah, and you suggest.
I think it's changed a lot. I think things have changed a lot. Through the years. And one of those ways is using the internet. I think through YouTube is a good avenue, if you like. But there was obviously a lot of hard work that needs to go in before that easily you can make that work, obviously. But what were your questions?
Yeah, no, I just remember you saying that you could maybe if you're a band just upload a few covers to YouTube first and just get them buying.
That's the thing. Yeah, sort of quite relevant covers or things like that are a good way. Goatee or something, that band that came out a few years ago, and there was a band that did an acoustic cover with a whole band playing around one acoustic, which was really impressive, and that one sent that cover right around the world, picked up on that on Facebook and things like that. So that's always a good way of doing things, I think. But it's always kind of hit and miss, you've got to keep trying and things, and luck's got to be on your side, really. So things like that are good, so...
If you were a band at the minute, Andy, if you were a band, you're still in a band, a very successful band at the moment. You do well with Dodgy, aren't you, at the moment? If you're a band starting out though, where would you go? Because it's tricky nowadays, isn't it, to find a record label who's going to pick it up. If you send a demo, it's very unlikely it's going to get listened to.
Yeah, it was also very unlikely that it was going to get listened to. It is hard, but it was hard back then. It's such a small chance you're looking at. But it's through graft and hard work, and that's still relevant. That is still relevant, even if it's still kind of messed around a bit. Like back in my day, you had, once you got signed, you had the money behind you and everything, but record labels haven't got that kind of backing anymore. And also getting out live and the venues are kind of closing down a bit around the country, but still, it is very important to get out on the road and do that sort of thing. And it's the only way, really, and to get to the important gigs where there's going to be industry at and things like that, and getting yourself about is a good way of getting yourself into conversations, just jumping in there and going, what the hell, that's always really good. Yeah, it's good to get good tapes together, it's good to record, it's good to get the material together and always push it out and try to get on supports and things like that. Always a good way of pushing it out. How I would do it nowadays, well, probably try and do it with how we did it then, is just be getting out there, getting your face known, getting to know the people, friends in the industry, other bands, etc.
I think it's
that's still very important.
I think in order to get signed now, it's a bit more like that now than ever, isn't it? Because there's no way on earth you're going to send a demo if you've just made a CD in your bedroom and you're going to send a demo off to Sony. There's no chance it's going to happen, is there?
No. What's it? You've got to kind of do silly things like. We had this idea, we'll go on Speaker's Corner and just load the gear up on the back of an open-top van and drive up to Speaker's Corner without permission, of course, just turn up. and we created a story around, the song, also, a thing we had, And so with the story, the song got airtime, you had something to talk about. It wasn't just about the song, it wasn't just about songs. You have to think about it in a sense. Where's it going? What are we saying? You have to have something to say. So make to fill the columns up,
So make a bit of a scene, and then hopefully the music will get dragged into it.
Yeah, that's it. Just up and try and run down a bloody high street, in nappies or something. I don't know. It's silly, okay, but if you've got the mentality to pay it off, just to pull through with it, forward with the idea, they'll see you as serious band in the day. And you're a bit mad, a bit crazy, but record companies are interested in people, guys and bands who've got an idea about what they want to do. And it's very important now, especially for these independent lot, because they're probably signing a lot, interested in a lot of other bands, as well. So there's that competition about it. But they want someone who's, it's going to be an easier job for them if they've got ideas already, bringing them to the table and things like that. So
it seems to be, you were around in the good old Oasis days, weren't you? You were playing alongside them half the time. And they were signed to Creation, and Creation have just got back into business, haven't they? And I know a lot of bands are trying to get on with them now, because they're the only sort of label that they think, they might have any chance in hell of getting on. Are you with Creation at the moment?
Sorry?
Are you with Creation at the moment?
We're with Cherry Red Records.
Cherry Red Records, right?
With Cherry Red.
I seen a photo the other day with Creation. Must have been an old photo.
Okay, yeah. We get associated with all that kind of LMG thing and everything, our manager used to know them a lot and stuff, So, but yeah, I mean, Cherry Red, they're a good label. They've got hundreds of bands on their label, and they've been going for a long time, and they've been independent. They've got a good view, a good taste in music, but also they're not going to throw lots of money at a band. They don't really throw a lot of money at us, so we've actually kind of do it in-house, a lot of the stuff. Like we've done our own artwork, for instance, and, we're mixing it ourselves, this album, and, we're taking a lot of in-house stuff, so it's kind of helping a lot, I think.
I see. So use it putting the graft in as well as the label. So they can concentrate on the pushing aspect rather than the material itself. You just can look after that yourself too.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got to kind of take care of a lot of things. I mean, back in the day, you direct the A&Ms and everything, and they had all their departments, and you go in there and you visit them, and you be a face there, and you get on with the people behind the desk and everything, and they get behind you then, and they look forward to meeting you again. You've got a relationship with them, and now it's kind of like hands off, and at the end of the day, you've got to look after your own front garden, that sort of thing. Look after your own house, and then things hopefully will start falling into place. You've just got to be the right place, the right time, to make sure you're always in that right place, and then the time hopefully will come to you.
I think you just got to be very, very greedy as a musician, haven't you? You just got to do everything.
You do.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Andy. I know a lot of bands. Big bands. When I first started doing this radio show, I always thought that it would always be the little bands that would be wanting to come on the show, but I find it's always the big bands, because the big bands will hit everything. Do you know what I mean? They look.
Okay, really? Yeah.
Yeah, they look at every outlet.
That's it. You've got to try and get the airtime. Everyone's trying to fight for airtime. It is the big bands. Some of the big bands out there were still, not really making any money on record sales. So they were making their own money by getting out there and touring and doing that sort of thing. And it's very different from what it is. But I wouldn't lose hope at all. I mean, there's always a chance for new bands to come through. And especially if the material's there and you're confident in yourself and believe in it, then you also got to get along with everyone in the band. That's very important. Get along, because it's going to be a long journey ahead.
Yeah.
So you've got to speak your mind, but there's got to be a doer, there's got to be a creative, and there's got to be a critical person in a band. And if you've got that kind of mixture, then things should sort of happen correctly and right.
A lot of bands. A lot of bands I sort of tend to work with, there always does seem to be one spokesperson for the band.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they've decided,
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can't have all three of us. We did like to try to establish ourselves as egos in the band, and we'd all do lots of interviews individually. It just got a bit confusing, as there wasn't really any one person, saying anything proper. I mean, Matthew came to the front a lot. He had a very good idea of what works in the current scene and what's been talked about and everything. And that's very important to be in tune with what's currently happening. So yeah. I mean, you can also do Babylon. I often tell myself in interviews, just suddenly losing the thread with what I was talking about. Just could have been, but it gets easier. I think it more.
I think you should treat a band as a business, basically.
It is. It is like a business, and it can kill it a bit when you've always kind of there's a creative there. I don't really want to, pigeonhole it or restrict it like that. But there is just, there has to be one guy who's there who kind of you have to be put in, like it or not. It has to be kind of delivered like that, so that it concisely that what you're doing. Your strangers here and there, your fans, your future fans can grab onto that, and And not be left bamboozled with who's the head guy, you know, who's the one to listen to. And be funny as well, so that's important as well.
Yeah, humour is essential, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andy, what about you? What about you, mate? Right. What are you up to at the minute? You're on tour, aren't you?
Well, we've just been doing a couple of gigs, started a tour. It was supposed to be a tour to bring out the album, but we pushed that back till spring, but we went along and did the tour anyway, and just come back from Glasgow today, and a big 8-hour drive back there. But we played nice. Newcastle and Edinburgh, and then Glasgow last night, so, you know, 3 nights on it. We've just chatting away, and had a really good time. We had a really good response, and I'm going to tell you what we're doing. We've got some more gigs coming up every weekend through November to the start of December. So we're pretty busy with that. And of course, they're also mixing records in the background as well. And we're hearing these tracks come through, and we're going to go, okay, you know, what can we change here and what can we do there? So it's exciting, you know, it's good. You know, we're quite happy with where the record is at the moment and how we're playing. So we played Bristol. We hadn't seen each other for a month and a half. We just sat home, went through the tunes a bit individually, and then we came to Bristol. Bang, we had a really good gig, and we set the bar really too high, I think, for ourselves, you know. We were quite surprised by it, but it was a good start to the tour, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Do you find, Andy, that a lot of gigs that you go to, you're forced to play the old tunes, obviously Good Enough and things like that?
Yeah, we are. I mean, they like it, and that's it's, you know, it's the bread and butter as well. I mean, you can't deny the fact that it gave us a lot of success. It isn't necessarily a great representation of the band, but you know, due course through the gig, you know, you see a lot of the other stuff, the material coming out, and people going, oh my God, you know, was that new tune? Was that one? Etc. And you get to use those old hits to then leapfrogging the new stuff. So yeah, it's you know, you can't deny them. We used to kind of put it on the shelf, you know, Good Enough, things like that. Put it on the shelf because, you know, we always played it, but then the audience would get a bit upset. Why didn't you play to that?
Yeah,
it brought back so many memories, etc. So, you know, yeah, I mean, you've got to grab your opportunities, really.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because realistically, you want to play the new album, don't you? You know, that's what you're working on. That's what you're loving at the moment. But I think with the reputation that you had in the 90s, you're always going to get. We want the old tunes, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Well, as a band, you have to survive by being creative and continuing to do that. So, but you can't really dispose of your past too much like that. You've still got to give it a nod, and you wouldn't be there today if it wasn't for that, you know.
Of course, yeah.
There was a time and a place, and that was like a postcard in time for the band, you know. Of course, it will changes along the way, but yeah.
I've still got my physical copy of your album there, knocking around somewhere. It comes out every now and again.
Oh, you
3-piece suite.
Knocking around.
Yeah.
I've been lost.
God, I remember when I was 16 coming in after being on the island, I think my girlfriend had just run off with one of my mates and sticking that on. If you're thinking of me, you got to let me know.
So bittersweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah, exactly. That was been a theme with some of my ex-mates.
It's a sad one, that, but it's a belter of a tune, like.
Yeah, it's a good tune. Yeah, I love playing that one. Yeah, we've been opening with that one. Which we get a bit of one to start. It's quite unusual.
This is a Liverpool-based show, so I may as well throw the question. Have you got any gigs in Liverpool coming up shortly?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do this time, but I've only kind of, I kind of look at the dates like a few days before just to know where I'm going. I know I'm going to get into Guildford in a week.
You haven't got the tour flyer to hand, in other words.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know, and you can let your listeners know as well.
Yeah, dude, let me know. Yeah, I'll go to your website later anyway and check it out myself and give it a plug.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, Andy, mate. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say thank you very much for coming on air, making the FM, mate. I do appreciate it. It's nice. It's nice to meet one of my old heroes. Good man, Andy. I'll get you tuned on for you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, lad. See you in a bit.
Take care, man.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
Absolute legend of a man, Andy Miller from Dodgy. Very good of them for getting on air. Right, I'm going to throw one of their tunes at you. It's Good Enough, of course.